Hi kids, welcome to your computer class. So let us start with chapter 4 algorithm and flowchart. Chapter 3 is not included in the syllabus, that is why it is not taken now, and if we have time we will be doing it later. So let us start with chapter 4 algorithm and flowchart. Let us now talk about problem solving. Students, can you think of a day without problem solving? The answer to this question is a clear no. Every day you perform various activities such as buying stationery, packing the school bag, polishing the shoes, doing homework, and lot more. And all these activities involve a series of steps in a sequential order to get the desired output. Every morning you brush your teeth, isn't it? So let us now see what are the steps that you should follow brushing your teeth. Here is the steps. First thing you have to do is turn on the tap, then take the toothbrush, rinse brush, then apply toothpaste to that brush. Then you have to brush it properly. That first brush the top teeth, then brush the bottom teeth, then brush the side, brush the other side, then at last brush the tongue, and then you have to rinse your mouth, spit it in the sink, then again rinse the brush, wipe your face. So these are the steps that you should follow while brushing your teeth. Similarly, you give instructions to a computer to perform a specific task, and the set of these instructions written stepwise sequence is called a program or computer programming. If a programmer forgets to place some instructions or writes the instructions in a wrong sequence or does not know how to perform the process manually, then a computer will produce the wrong result. In order to ensure that the program instructions are appropriate for the problem and are written in the correct sequence, the program must be planned logically before it is written. So, in order to solve any problem on a computer in a right way, we need to write algorithm. So, we'll see what is an algorithm. The step-by-step procedure to solve any logical and mathematical problem is called algorithm. So whenever a problem is given to the programmer, then the programmer has to review on the problem and he has to write the step-by-step procedure to solve it. Like how you did for brushing the teeth, there are a lot of steps. So each step has to be followed in its right way. It should not be in any other way. So that step by step procedure to solve any logical and mathematical problem is called as algorithm. There are certain rules that you should follow while writing an algorithm. Let us see what are they. First is, an algorithm should be written in English like language. That means it should be written in English language. What are the steps? It should be clear for the reader. Second is, it should be written in a simple and precise manner so that everyone can understand it. So those who are reading that algorithm should understand it properly. So it should be in a simple and precise manner. Next is, an input is required to write an algorithm. So when we are considering a problem solving, what is a problem? That should be the input. Okay. Then next is, each step should be written in a sequential manner. That is, what comes first should be written first. It should not be in a mixed up order. The next is, one can include variables and define mathematical expressions to calculate the result. So if variables are needed, variables means in order to store some value, we need to use some values. For example, in mathematics, a plus b whole square. So a can be substituted with any value, right? So a and b are variables. So one can include variables and mathematical expressions to calculate the result. Next is, statements that are of simple type should be combined to avoid lengthy code. That is, when you are writing an algorithm, it should be in a simple way. So if at all any lengthy code is there, you have to precise and should write. Then each instruction should be executed within a reasonable time frame. That is, it should not be like very lengthy. It should be precise and it should be inside a particular time frame. To ensure that an algorithm produces the expected output, it should be checked using sample values. So after your algorithm is written, then you have to check with that algorithm with some dummy values and should check whether it is able to give you the correct result. So these are the steps that you should follow while writing an algorithm. Let us see example. Here is an algorithm to calculate the sum and average of three numbers. So step 1 is input the first number. So first number, it is stored in A. A is a variable. Then next is input the second number B, because number B, there are three numbers, so A, B. So of course the step 3 will be input the third number, say C. Then next is find the sum of three numbers. So in order to find out the sum and average, so first step should be finding out the sum. So sum is equal to A plus B plus C. So whatever the value is given to A, B and C has to be added together and that value will be stored in sum. The next is find the average. Average can be found out by sum divided by 3, because sum is already found out, and when you divide that sum by 3 you will get average. The next step is print the sum and average. So that is the output. So in this algorithm you have input. So inputs are first number, second number and third number. Then process is finding out the sum and average, and then we have print out the output, that is sum and average. Let us see example 2. This is an algorithm to compare two numbers and find the greater one. Okay. So step 1 should be input two numbers and store them in A and B. So in the first example, I have received the values for A, B, C in a separate statement. Even you can write as this is the precise form. So you can write the inputs. What are the inputs? A and B. The next is check whether A is equal to B. If true, then go to step 3, else go to step 4. So I am telling the reader that check whether A is equal to B. So whatever the value the user is given, we have to check whether A is equal to B. If that condition is true, then go to step 3, else go to step 4. So we'll see what is step 3 and step 4. Step 3 is print both the numbers are equal and stop. So once A and B are equal, then you have to print both the numbers are equal, then should stop. Okay, so that is step 3. So if the condition is false, that is if A is not equal to B, then we should go to step 4. We'll check what is step 4. So compare A and B. If A is greater than B, go to step 5, else go to step 6. So next condition what we are going to check is A is greater than B. So if it's A is greater than B, of course our step 5 will be print A is greater and stop. Else, what is the condition? You have to go to step 6. So what should be in step 6? Print B is greater and stop. So when the condition A is greater than B is false, of course B will be greater. So that is why we are printing B is greater and then go to stop. Let us now see what are the characteristics of an algorithm. So any good algorithm should follow the following characteristics. First is input. An algorithm accepts an input. So any algorithm should contain an input. Then generality. So generality means an algorithm works on a set of inputs. That is, whatever the algorithm you write, that algorithm should be applicable for all the inputs you give. For example, if you are adding two numbers algorithm, and whatever the value you substitute for A and B, your algorithm should be able to give the output. Okay, so if you are giving a negative number, also it should be able to give the addition. So like whatever values you give to that particular algorithm's input, it should be able to give the correct result. So that is known as generality. Next is definiteness. So each instruction should be written in a simple and precise manner so that everyone can understand it. That is, each and every instruction should be simple enough so that any reader can understand that. So that is another characteristics. Next is uniqueness. Each step in an algorithm should be uniquely identified, and an output of each step should be depend on the previous step. So in the previous example 2, we had written like if any particular condition is true, then go to step 5, step 6, like that it was clearly mentioned. So your algorithm should be in such a way that each step should be uniquely identified. Next is finiteness. So it should involve finite number of steps to reach a solution. So for the solution, it should have proper number of steps. That is finiteness. Next is output. So after the instructions are executed, the user must get the desired result. So after input is given and all the calculations are done, then the algorithm must have an output. So these are the characteristics of an algorithm. So with this, I'm winding up this session. I hope you are clear with algorithm and how to solve any problem. So based on that only, we discussed what is an algorithm and what are the characteristics of an algorithm. So we'll continue with the same chapter in the next session also. Thank you.